CVA's Accura Series, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
All right, welcome everyone. This week's Picture of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing. They are ready, let me tell you. They got freezer space, they got hanging space, they got cutting space, they got grinding space. They got space.
Knives are sharpened up.
Knives are sharp. They've been sharp.
Everything's shined and oiled. It won't be long to be here before we know it.
Deborah's going to let them out of the house here before long.
Their gardening work's over for the year.
Right. What do you got here?
All right, this first picture, this is Mr. Jeff Stanford, and this is a 7.5 pound bass that he caught as he puts it on private water in Jackson County. So I want to say congratulations to him on that fish.
Look at the colors of that fish.
It is, it's a pretty fish.
Looking fish.
And you'll recognize this little fella. This is our buddy Deacon Blair, and this is a cooler full of doves that they got this past weekend over in Wilson County. I know, knowing them boys, you know he did catch a couple bass before the dove shoot started. Just so you know, he did indeed. All right, and then our next picture here, this is Greg Gallagher and Clint Holden, and you know, they're after it again. They're out with their MFK game calls, and they have been hard on those coyotes this summer.
Those boys are going to go down as legendary.
I'll tell you what, they don't ever quit.
They don't stop.
And right here on the end, this is I just love this picture here. This is 3-year-old Leighton McCatherine and his dad Tony McCatherine. This is a 5.5 pound, 25-inch long catfish that Leighton caught on Old Hickory Lake. Said they put in at Sandy Chapel there, and he caught that fish, and his dad helped him net it there, and you can just look at that smile and tell right there what it's all about. That's what I love about that picture.
Either he was glad he caught it or glad Daddy netted it.
I think he was glad of both, I believe, at the time. But we want to say hi to them tonight. Tell them thank you for watching. And we want to say hi to Mom, Sarah Brown, as well. So I want to say thank you to them for sending that picture to us. Awesome.
And just keep sending us your pictures here. You can send them to us at 474 James Russell Parkway, or better yet, quicker, through Facebook.
Just get them to us on Facebook, and we're actually, I think we're going to have another picture giveaway contest this coming week. So you guys keep that in mind. We're just talking about Facebook. Get on there and get on it. So
we're going to do that. Hey, tonight we have with us Rick Woods and Clay Jordan. They're both with the Carl Perkins Bass Classic. It is going to be in October, the 12th and 13th,
12th and 13th.
Friday and Saturday. The registration is going to open at 4 o'clock on the Friday. So, but now the numbers are drawn by how fast you got your registration in there. Is that not right?
Pre-registration is going on now.
Yes.
It's $160 until October 1st, and then it goes up to $185.
$185.
And then if you register that morning, of course, it'll be the $185.
Yeah, that's right.
And we have about 65 to 70 people register that morning, which is fine. We get the extra money, but it's going for a good cause. But you know, we had 170 votes last year, and
I want to see us go over 200 this year.
That's our goal. We're hoping. We've been gradually increasing. We went from 150 to 160, and then 170 this year. And but pre-registration is going on right now. If you want to register, you can go to cpbassclassic.com and download the registration and mail it in.
I've been sharing everything you've been sending out, and I'm going to tell you something. You can follow us on Facebook. You can also pick up the registration form there too, because we've been sharing it constantly. Every time Rick puts something out, I'm the first one that sees it, and I put it out. So we get it out there to a bunch of people. But let me tell you something. What it's going for, and we're going to tell you what you're eligible to win here in just a few minutes. But I want you to know the story behind the bass tournament. That's the key, and that's what most people are given for. It's not because of the prize money, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, and the prizes are nice, and the live auction, and all that stuff's nice. But when you see the smile on those kids' faces, that you're touching their life by doing something you love to do in the first place, it's your passion to fish, then why don't you put a smile on somebody else's face with it? And that's exactly what we're doing. This is helping out. Now, Clay, tell us a little bit about what it goes to.
Right. Well, of course, this is the largest fundraiser for the Decatur County Carl Perkins Center, which is a child advocacy center that works with children who have been abused or identified as at risk. And this past year, we served over 600 adults and children through our programs, which is probably the most we have ever served in a very small area. And which, you know, you never like to have any number that you're working with, but it's also a blessing to be able to identify those that need your help. And
we've talked about it before. You'd like to see it down to one.
Listen, we would ultimately like to work our way out of a job. Is what we would like to do.
That's right. But it's just not there. But you guys are, and I say guys and gals, because there's a whole mixture of people that's involved in this. But my goodness, they touch people, not just Decatur County.
Right.
I mean, it's all over West Tennessee that y'all are outreaching to.
That's right.
And, you know, I've heard some of the stories, and it's a tug on the heart kind of thing.
Well, it is. And you know, it's, the older I get, the more thankful I am.
I don't see why you don't have big bags under your head.
Listen, all the time, right? It's, well, I tell you what, we got to be strong for those youngers that come through there. And don't get me wrong, there's some that they tug on you hard, and they really do. But at the same time, I'm thankful to be one of the ones that's sitting there in the courtroom with them, or you know, there in the building with them, to help them get better and to realize that life's not always where it's at right now, and to help mom and dad get better and do better. And this fishing tournament's one of the biggest reasons we're able to do that.
Yeah.
And Rick, you're a judge in Decatur County, and you see cases like this all the time. Yes. I mean, unfortunately, it's pretty much daily basis anymore.
It is, and you know, I've been doing this almost 30 years now, and the child abuse cases are the ones that bother me the most.
Oh yeah.
And I see some bad things come through, and that's why I'm such a supporter of this Carl Perkins Bass Tournament.
You're a big time bandwagoner.
And we, you know, started this about 12 years ago, and it helps fund the center. And Clay and his group they do a great job.
They do.
I can't tell you how much help they are to these kids and these families. And you know, yes, I hear the cases, but all the work goes on behind the scenes. And his group and the center does all the work. I can assure you that.
I just want to ask you one question, Rick, and that is, you know, growing up, I'm part of the older generation too, and we never heard about this that much growing up. I mean, it was all hush hush if it was anything going on. But nowadays, and I'm gonna say this. Not that I understand why it's being done, because I don't, never will. I don't like it. Anytime you raise your hand to some other human, it's wrong. But if I can see the societies that we live in now, it's not like it used to be. Yeah. We used to be on the front porch, and when you drove by, we waved at you, invited you to come have a glass of cold sweet tea or drink a cup of coffee. Nowadays, they don't wave at you anymore. They could care less what you're doing. Everybody's got their own agenda. Nobody cares about anybody anymore, seems like. And it seems like it's getting at an epidemic, not whether it's a rarity like it used to be when I was growing up. It's an epidemic form now. And I'm saying that's got to play a role in how we're treating our kids, how we're treating spouses. I've never heard of as many spousal fights in all my days. Used to, if we found out a man was beating his wife, we'd send him first off a whole dozen of dead roses and put them on his front porch. And if that didn't work, the woodshed was next. Right. And it's not like it anymore.
And like you say, you know, and keep it in mind, we're talking about just right in our little Decatur County is where, you know, where all this is happening. Yes. And so, yes, there are a lot of different factors, a lot of different things going on with these kids, and we're just blessed to have the support we do from our community to help us do this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we can't seem to stop it. I say I can't. I try, but I can't.
No.
But I can get involved in something like this.
Right.
And this is my part of putting and giving back. And you might as well say this is community service, is what it is, really.
And it's getting to reach a bunch of folks that normally may not have anything obviously wouldn't want anything happen to a child, but this is the sportsman's, the community way to get involved with it. And listen, it makes a big difference.
And I also want to say something else too, because Clay hasn't brought it up, and neither has Rick. But you never know who these kids are. They keep this very, very hush-hush. There might be just a handful of folks that know who's getting involved. But the monies, one check you brought in here was $64,000. I remember that check just as well as it was.
That was the largest check we had raised. I think we did 52 last year.
Yes.
And we're hoping to better that this year.
I'd like to see 75.
Well,
we would too.
Yeah.
One thing about this tournament here, and I've told you about, and you see it because you've been there, is we try to involve the family and the kids involved. Because we have this fishing rodeo, and now we've got a guest tonight that's been fishing on the
We're gonna have him up here next segment.
But he's one of many kids that now fish in this tournament.
And he's giving back to kids that are his age.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of these kids have never been fishing.
No.
And this is an opportunity for them. And with the fishing rodeo, it's all free. And, I know there are parents that bring their kids over there and leave them, and then we get them into fishing.
That's right.
That's as long as
we wish though they wouldn't do that and leave us babysit. We wish they'd get involved too.
It happens, but we are exposing them to fishing.
Yeah, that's
exactly right. So,
and of course Saturdays are filled with kids, activities for kids all day long. Free things for kids to do. Absolutely.
Well, we're going to talk about that, but first we got to do our
this week's product of the week. This week's product of the week is being sponsored by County Fork Outdoors. You can go and see them right there at the Center Hill Dam exit at the Big Rock Market, or go down and see them at that old Donaldson Plaza Shopping Center right here in Nashville, Tennessee.
All right, well, I'm getting to show you two fine products. This is from our buddy Chris Snow, the snowman, up there in Smith County. He actually owns Snow Mountain in Smith County. Did you know that? His family does.
I heard that's all there.
This is something else. But these are super bees, and fall fishing's right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, and the shad will be smaller. But you throw this up against some of those bluff walls up there on Center Hill or Dale Hollow, Kentucky Leg. I don't think they'll ever get to the bottom before a smallmouth, about 4 or 5 pounds, just start running with that 6-pound test line, and then the fight is on. You better have a hot trolling motor.
There's not many things more fun than that.
But give old Chris Snow a call. He's got a great Facebook page, but check him out at Snowspin. And I think you're going to love what Chris is putting out. He puts some out of the best stuff you've ever laid your eyes on. So give him a call and tell him you saw it right here on Southern Woods and Waters. All right, we appreciate it. We got to go to a break.
Got to take a quick break. We'll be back here in just a minute. We're going to open our phone lines, and we'll have some more Southern Woods and Waters.